It's officially flu season. September through May, 8 months of the year earns that title. But here's the thing, the flu is not a season. In fact, there's no such thing as the flu season. It's simply a well-played business marketing plan to sell a ridiculous amount of flu shots to the tune of $4 billion a year. Listen, the flu doesn't just disappear and then reappear back in September. We are surrounded by bacteria and viruses all year long. The determining factor as to whether or not someone gets sick isn't the absence or presence of the viruses and bacteria, it's how well their immune system is able to fend these things off. So what happens during this season that causes us to have a decrease in our immune system? There's two main contributing factors. The first one is that it is school season, which means that more and more people are spending time indoors and less time in the sunlight. Vitamin D is a byproduct of your skin's exposure to sunlight. We know that vitamin D is a crucial part to activate your immune defenses. In other words, the cells that fight bacteria and virus absolutely require vitamin D to fight those things. When you are exposed to them, if you don't have enough vitamin D in your bloodstream to activate those cells, then guess what? The bacteria and the virus take over, they win, and you get sick. Now, due to our lifestyle, our indoor lifestyle, and our use of sunblock, it is estimated that 30 to 100% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Half of all kids are deficient, and 3/4 of all pregnant women are deficient. And we know that during the winter months that the levels of vitamin D go down even more. And people that have lower levels of vitamin D are the ones that are getting colds and flus, not to mention 17 different types of cancer. That's a whole nother video. So I hope you're starting to see that there's not a coincidence that the flu season is during these months. We could stop there because I really think that having low levels of vitamin D is the main contributor to seasonal illnesses. However, I have to mention one other one, and that it's also sugar season. Starting with your pumpkin spice latte, you know who you are, 50 grams of sugar, on into Halloween, which provides us with enough candy to last through Thanksgiving, and then of course start the Christmas parties with the goodies and the parties and the cookies and stuff like that. And so we are consuming a lot of sugar during these months as well. The average American consumes around 150 grams of sugar a day. It should be around 20. Now, if you missed my video about how sugar completely wipes out your immune system, I suggest you go and look for that and watch it. So that's the second thing during this season that lowers our immune system. So let's just call this season what it is: the deficiency in vitamin D sugar overload season. So here's what you can do for you and your family to help prevent colds and flu this season. The first thing is to make sure you're getting sufficient amounts of vitamin D. And you can do that two ways. The first way is to expose half of your body, bare skin, to midday sun for about 10 to 15 minutes. Enjoy that during the winter time. Send me pictures. The other way you can do that is you can supplement with a really good quality vitamin D supplement. I actually don't take very many supplements, but if I do, I assure you that they are necessary and they are quality. So during the winter months, I actually add a vitamin D supplement to our regimen so that I can make sure that we are all getting adequate amounts of vitamin D. There have been several studies that show how effective vitamin D is in preventing colds and flus. In one study, it showed that kids that took vitamin D daily were 67% less likely to come down with influenza A. And then adults who increased their intake of vitamin D had nearly a 100% prevention rate from colds and flus. And then one other study showed that if anyone was had higher levels of vitamin D and they did happen to catch the flu, the people with higher levels of vitamin D, fended off the flu. They were over the flu in 2 days compared to people who had lower amounts of vitamin D. It took them 9 days. So this is not something that you want to skimp on. It's obviously going to help prevent colds and flus. So if you are interested in getting some, like and share this video. I will actually save you $5 on the purchase of your first bottle of vitamin D. Just go ahead and message me that you'd like to order some. The second thing that we can do in order to help prevent colds and flu this season is to be mindful of how much sugar you are consuming. Try to keep it below 20 grams. So when I look at the back labels of my food, I'm not looking at fats and carbohydrates and stuff like that. The most important thing to me is to be looking at how many grams of sugar are actually in that product. And then the last thing that you can do to help your family prevent colds and flu this season is to get adjusted. It is undeniable that chiropractic adjustments help to improve the function of your immune system. Just go ahead and take a look at the story of the 1918 flu pandemic. You've got Google at your fingertips. It's probably a story you've never heard about, but Google it. It's worth the read. You can see how many lives chiropractors were saving back in the 1918 flu pandemic. Your body's ability to function and the increase in the immune system's function after an adjustment is so important for not only colds and flus, but just for making sure that the body is working as it was designed. Now, these are 3 very simple action steps that you can take that are way more effective than any flu shot has ever been proven to be. Last year's flu shot was about 18% effective. So don't gamble, be proactive. I'm Dr. Michelle, trust your innate. Hey, what are you eating?
My pea.
Are you ready to have your vitamin D?
Yeah.
What's vitamin D good for?
Good for your immune system.
Say ah. That was an I used. It's easy as that. Hey, would you rather have that or the flu?
That.